Good afternoon, students. My name is Stella Henry, and I am here this morning to introduce the topic, the art of public speaking. The art of public speaking. And the reason we are here to talk about public speaking is because everyone is not a keynote speaker. There are some of us who still get to the stage and we begin to have stage fright. When you begin to have something called stage fright, you realize that everything you have studied, everything that you have prepared to come and deliver a great speech, all of them will just get out of your head. And the world will begin to spin around the whole place. It is called glossophobia, and glossophobia is the fear of public speaking. For you to deliver a better speech, you have to start thinking about using more of non-verbal communication techniques. And having said that, somebody might be asking, what is verb? So for us to understand more what is non-verbal communication speech, I want to draw us back a bit to what verb is. And verb is nothing but a word that is used to describe an action. It is used to describe a state or an occurrence. So when you say that Stella ran to the church, the word ran is the verb that describes the action in the sentence. So now we move further to what are those non-verbal, because non-verbal means you are not talking. So what are those non-verbal communication speech? They're going to be things like facial expression, gesture, eye contact. I will explain them. Prosemics. Prosemics is like personal space. In the United States of America, people want you to give them their 3 feet space. If you go past 3 feet, you are invading into their privacy. So while the audience is paying attention to what you're doing, you are also paying attention to what the audience is doing. And that is why if you are going to be a professional, for you to deliver a better speech, you have to start thinking about using more of non-verbal communication techniques. And having said that, somebody might be asking, what is verb? So for us to understand more what is non-verbal communication speech, I want to draw us back a bit to what verb is. And verb is nothing but a word that is used to describe an action. It is used to describe a state or an occurrence. So when you say that Stella ran to the church, the word ran is the verb that describes the action in the sentence. So now we move further to what are those non-verbal, because non-verbal means you are not talking. So what are those non-verbal communication speech? They're going to be things like facial expression, gesture, eye contact. I will explain them. Prosemics. Prosemics is like personal space. In the United States of America, people want you to give them their 3 feet space. If you go past 3 feet, you are invading into their privacy. So while the audience is paying attention to what you're doing, you are also paying attention to what the audience is doing. You cannot be looking on the ceiling or just looking on a particular object. You have to be looking at the audience. You have to be looking at the people that you're talking to. So when we talk about gesture, like thumbs up, like okay sign, like pointing, like waving, you have to watch what the congregation is doing. Are they doing some gestures? What do they look like? Is it distracting? Are they tired? Are they trying to leave? Are they calling each other? They are also paying attention to you. So your own gesture, your gesticulation shouldn't be much. You have to use some of those gesticulating symbols, but you don't have to use them for too long. Facial expression is mostly used to communicate emotions, right? To know whether somebody is so sad, to find out if somebody is very surprised. You're looking at the congregation, what you just said, are they surprised, so surprised about it? Are they feeling very frustrated? Because you're talking to them, you really have to communicate. So right, how eye contact is being maintained or how it is disrupted. You know, people are looking at you like, yes sir, yes sir. They are really following up. But by the time you look into the congregation and everybody's like, you know, giving people sign like, are you leaving? Like, what is he talking about? So it is disrupting the hall. It is disrupting you that you don't even know what to say anymore. At that time, you know that things are not doing what, things are not going well. So eye contact will tell you what is happening inside the congregation, whether there is an interest or whether there is embarrassment. Have you just embarrassed yourself, or whether you're really entertaining them? Is there any kind of attraction? Touch is mostly yours. It's like when you have successfully delivered your speech at the end of the program, everybody is running to you like, oh my God, you really touched my life. Do you know you were talking to me? It doesn't make you start hugging them, but paying attention, if you were paying attention to your audience at the time you were delivering, you'll be able to tell who needs a hug. There's somebody inside that hall that needs a hug. There's another person who needs just a tap on the shoulder. There's another who needs just a handshake. But if you don't pay attention and you don't know who your audience is, you might want to try to hug the wrong person who would take it serious. I went into a program where somebody gave a tap on the shoulder of somebody. For the person who gave a tap, it was it's the sign of greeting out of respect, with respect. But the person who was tapped, from her own culture, it was a disrespect, and she was very angry and she really reacted. So we got to pay attention to the congregation, know who your audience is. Body language is another thing that is very important. Body movement, you know, posture. How, like for instance, in the United States of America, the way people sit up straight, sitting up straight like this means you are really interested in what is going on. When you bend down or fold up, it means lack of interest. So you have to watch who is sitting up. What is the posture in the house? How are people sitting? Are they really nodding their heads in positivity, like, oh my God, you were talking to me, sir, right on, sir, go ahead, sir, please, you know. So you have to look at all those things, because these little things, they send signal about their attitude. It is sending signal to you, the presenter. It is telling you something about the audience. It is letting you know that the audience is understanding it. You see some people who will be crying based on what you are saying. Is touching their emotions and is reminding them of their own problems, and they will begin to cry. All those things are information. We have one that is called paralanguage, and paralanguage is like all those vocal elements. You are not talking at this time, all right? It's more of silent, you know, non-verbal sounds. That's what I want to say, like ooh. So it communicates, it's telling you that the audience is as well enjoying what your sound volume, yes, your tone, they are all at work. So you have to also pay attention, because tone is a signal to measure an utterance. Was that a question that the speaker just asked? Was that a sentence, or was that a sarcastic remark? You know what I'm saying? So to be a better speaker, please be debate. This thing called debate helps with the art of public speaking. Okay, so sometimes do the debate. If you have to do it yourself in your house, just sit down and get yourself a topic on debate and go about it. Stand for the motion, or you speak against the motion, as it will enhance and instill critical thinking. Debate will help your critical thinking to pop up and pop out, and it will make you a great speech presenter. Your speech, while you're preparing your speech, you need to think problem, solution, and benefit. Problem, solution, and benefit. These will help you. Oh my God, I think I have to stop here. So yes, there has to be clarity in your speech, and it has to minister to you before it can minister to your audience. Begin to touch lives, okay? And then your goal at the end of your speech is to persuade your audience about the argument that lies in the center of your speech. And when need be, if you have to listen, please do. Don't work so hard to make a point. Perfection is not your end goal. And we need to work hard on your speaking prowess. Spending so much time on your slide making skills. It's always okay to have a couple of something that can be a reminder, but you don't need slide. It's just gonna be you and your audience. And then as you open, tell a story. It's always beautiful. That's you use it to catch everybody's attention. Tell a story as you open, and then during closing, you try to give message of hope. And then what again? You have to if there's another story during closing, tell another story. It's not mandatory. And then as you close, there has to be a call to action. Now we want to, without wasting time, let's run into tips for public speaking. One, you have to have sense of humor. Two, you have to tell a story that is related to the speech that you are delivering. Three, you have to dress appropriately. So when it is too hot, you are not expected to wear something that is that's gonna make you sweat a lot. Is to maintain a confidence and expressive voice. Expressive, right? And that's the same thing as it has to minister to you before it ministers to another person. So when you're dealing with your speech, don't deal with it as you just need to read this out and aloud. It has to be something that you know. You talk about it with passion. So now that's gonna help you to keep your expressive voice. So be confident in yourself. You need to use some very simple language. This is not the time to use jargon. So another point is using simple language. Another point is having in mind ethics. Everything has ethics. For instance, preachers, because when we're talking about delivering a speech, don't forget we're also covering every angle, like preaching the gospel. We have ethics of the pulpit. You just can't, you have to stick to the time. Is one of the tips of public speaking. Keep to the time. If they say your time is 12, there's no African time to wait. Please get there at least 15 minutes before your time. Come in and get acquainted with everybody. Keeping to your time. Please don't go past your time. If they give you 30 minutes to talk, please maintain 30 minutes. If you have to go beyond 30 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but don't do 50 minutes when you have been given 30 minutes. It's another thing that is going to agitate the people that you are doing what you are talking to, because they know that you are supposed to finish at 30 minutes ago and you're still talking, and they're gonna stand up and start leaving on your face. Also, we cannot overemphasize to maintain your eye contact. Eye contact is going to be very important. Always maintain eye contact. And another tip is to slow your speed. Slow your speed. You are talking to somebody, because a speech, when they call you to come and deliver a speech in a seminar, you have to have in mind that you have come to educate someone inside the house. You've come to teach them something that they didn't know. You have come to inform them. You've come to give them a lot of loaded information. So you have to allow them to process it. So when you say it, you take it one at a time, so that they'll be able to process what you're saying. But if you just begin to jump, it's like you are trying to read to finish what you have prepared. Not the time you jump from osmosis to this, and just keep it simple so that you'll be able to carry everybody along, because you have come to educate somebody. You have come to teach something to somebody. So it's not a time to irritate our audience. And at this time, I'm going to sign out and sign off till when next we meet again. Once again, my name is Dr. Stella Henry. Have a blessed day. Bye. And just keep it simple so that you'll be able to carry everybody along, because you have come to educate somebody. You have come to teach something to somebody. So it's not a time to irritate our audience. And at this time, I'm going to sign out and sign off till when next we meet again. Once again, my name is Dr. Stella Henry. Have a blessed day.